Sorry about that. Technical difficulty. All right, so back to what I was saying. I started getting just hundreds and hundreds of orders for my book, and I was instantly in the publishing business. I wasn't expecting that, but it was huge. And so that was such a huge success. I thought, wow, people want to know things that you can do to have a home-based business. And so I started then doing lots and lots of research on other businesses where you could make money and work from home. And I became great at researching. And so then I wrote another manual basically on dream jobs, how to make money doing fun, exciting things that you love, like being an ice cream tester, playing video games, mystery shopping. There are so many things that you can get paid for, and so that you normally wouldn't even think about, especially back then. So I went and did a lot of research. I wrote about it, created a manual, same thing, sent it in to them. They loved it. They published it, wrote about it. And next thing you know, I'm getting tons and tons of orders for that book. So I got into the publishing business, and before I knew it, I was making over $10,000 a month working from home, selling these books that I was writing. I had huge success with that and didn't even expect it. So that's one of the things that I did for a while I was raising my children and growing up. And then I decided I needed to become more professional here and not be just a sole proprietor anymore. I'd better look into incorporating or setting up an LLC, something like that. And I didn't know which business structure I needed, so I started doing a lot of research, reading, learning everything that I could about which business structure is best and why. Where do you want to incorporate? What state is best to incorporate? There was so much to learn, but I did a lot of researching, and then I set up my first LLC. Well, guess what? Then I started finding out there are a lot of other women that are operating businesses from home, and this and that. And they wanted to know what business structure to set up, what was the best way, what's best for them, what do you need? And so then I wrote a manual on the different business structures and what are the advantages and disadvantages of each one of them. And before I knew it, I was in the incorporating business. Then my husband and I, with less than $5,000, we set up an incorporating business. Oh yeah, I left out. This is my third husband. I had got a divorce from my second husband, the attorney. And that's in the video for another story. Yeah, he was wonderful to me and to my children. Great husband, great father. Great provider. He was a wonderful man in every way that you can imagine. I loved him dearly. I worshiped the ground he walked on. We had a great life. We traveled all over, took our kids on vacations. Walt Disney World. Oh my goodness. We went on trips and cruises in Hawaii constantly and took them to Washington, D.C. He went to Pepperdine University and in Malibu for law school, but he went to American University in college and loved Washington, D.C. While he was going there, he worked for Teddy Kennedy and Adlai Stevenson. And so we had a lot of connections there. So we went, and we took our kids there a lot when they were growing up, and the Smithsonian and all the wonderful museums that are there. But after 15 years of marriage, 15 years of being together, 13 years of marriage, getting ready to have a garage sale one day and going through all the boxes and everything in the garage, looking for things that we could sell, and found a box that was full of cards and letters from women he had been seeing and dating through our marriage. I was devastated. Yes. There was a card that said, "Thank you for the wonderful weekend at Disneyland and the beautiful necklace." Yeah. See, he traveled a lot doing seminars and stuff like that. He was a great trial attorney. So he traveled a lot. Weekends and stuff like that. And I couldn't always get away and go with him because I had obligations with the kids. They had tournaments or they had competitions. And I wasn't going to miss those. I had to be there to take them to those. My kids came first, and so didn't always get to travel with him and go away. So guess he found other ladies who like to travel and go away. Yeah. So, yeah, after 15 years of being together, to the man that I thought was the most wonderful husband and father in the world. We're not talking one woman, we're talking lots of them throughout our whole marriage. So, I got a divorce. Yeah. So anyway, a few years later, I remarried. And how we met and how we got married, that's a video for another day, another time. Oh my gosh, this video's going way longer than I wanted it to, but I guess I'm just going to end up telling you about how I went from welfare to millionaire and how I got there. Kind of got to know the backstory and how I got there. So, husband number 3 and I, we set up this incorporating company, less than $5,000. And that was in 2001, right before 9/11. And that was a bad time in my life. Yeah. Shortly before that, only 4 months before that, on May 29th, May 19th, my oldest son, Kevin, who was 21 at the time, was killed in a tragic accident. It was the most horrible day of my life. Yeah, he was smart, good looking, handsome, big, huge dimples, big blue eyes, dark hair. And he had just rented a house with 3 of his best friends. Just signed up for college classes in the fall. Just got a new job, doing construction. And he and his friends were partying and drinking, celebrating, and acting crazy. I don't know what all I was doing, but he played Russian roulette. Sorry. Yeah. He played Russian roulette, blew off the whole back of his head. And it was so horrible. My daughter, who was 2 years younger than him, and they were so close. She was pregnant at the time with her first baby. We thought she was 7 months pregnant. And she was so devastated. We thought we were going to lose the baby. And we were all just heartbroken beyond belief. And I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I don't have any vices like that. What kept me strong was my belief that I know that I'll see him again another time. I believe in God. I believe that there's another place, and I'll see him another day, another time. I will see him again. And that kept me strong. And I had 2 other children, and I knew I had to be strong for them. And so, 4 months later, my husband and I decided to start this other business. And so I just devoted my thoughts into research and getting ready for that and preparing and learning everything that I could. I read. I'm a reader. I believe leaders are readers. And I read everything I could on starting this new business and devoted 100% into that. And that's what helped keep me focused and kept me from going nuts. Because every time I'd look at my son's picture, I would just start crying. Then I had to get it together again. Focus. There were times I cried. I cried every day. I still cry. There are times I cry. When it's the anniversary of when he died, or when it's his birthday, I have really tough days. I do. I struggle with it. I think about him, and his friends are all married now and have families. Of course, I think about what he'd be like today. This was 2001 when this happened. Yeah, 16 years ago. So, of course, I think about how old he would be, what he might be like. If he had children, what they might be like. So I have really rough days sometimes, guys. Just like I know you do, okay? Everybody does. We have difficult things, challenges in our life that are struggles, but you can get through them. You can. You can achieve anything you want if you want to badly enough, okay? I'm living proof of that. I started that business with my husband, $5,000, 2001. By 2004, our business was bringing in over $10 million a year. You heard that right. We went $4 million to $7 million to $10 million a year. I'm not kidding. We're so successful. We had over 100 employees. Yes. This little girl who grew up on welfare, kicked out of the house at 16 years old. A divorced single mom at 20. Then later started a business and grew it from nothing into a business that was bringing in over $10 million a year. Okay. Then 2008 came. The real estate market crashed. Kind of changed our business quite a bit. Okay. Things started changing. Okay. The numbers weren't like they were. All right. But we were still in business and we were very successful. I was the CEO. I did the sales training. I was the rah-rah cheerleader, the motivator of the company. I interviewed, trained, hired managers who managed the team leaders, who managed all the individual teams, and then the salespeople, which the salespeople were the key. Without sales, you don't have a business. So my husband oversaw the administration side, the attorneys, the CPAs, the bookkeepers, and the IT department, and all of those, the mailroom people, oh gosh, the mail that we had, and, all the administrative people that it takes to do the work once the sales are made. So he oversaw that. I oversaw the sales side of the company. And we were very successful. I went from being a scared little kid who literally in school, when you had to get up in front of the class and read the report, your report in front of the class, I was so sick I was throwing up. Public speaking is the number one fear of most people, and I was terrified. Oh my God, and I had to overcome that fear because I was the one that got up in front of all the employees and did the rah-rah meetings, in front of all the salespeople. I was the one that I had to learn to inspire and motivate my team, and I did. They were great. They were awesome. And that's how we were so successful. So you're probably wondering what happened. Yeah. Okay. About 5 years ago, my daughter and grandkids were visiting from California, and it was my mother's birthday. They were having a big birthday party for her. I left my house. My daughter and grandkids were in the car with me. Left my house, turned the corner. No sooner turned the corner, and a young man ran a stop sign. And I was in a car, big car, out of Cadillac Escalade. I swerved, slammed my brakes and swerved and tried to miss him. But the front end of my car, where the driver sits, hit the back end of the car, his car. And where I sit, hit him really hard. And at the time of the accident, I was in shock. And my first and primary concern was my daughter and my grandchildren. Were they okay? Were they all right? Making sure everything was okay. Okay. They were screaming. They were crying. My grandchildren were young. They were scared to death. They were all worried about me. They had never been in a car accident before, so it was very traumatic for them. Police officers came, wrote up the report, did all that, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, 3 days later, I start getting massive, massive headaches. Felt like somebody hit me in the back of the head with a baseball bat. My words started coming out all mixed up, backwards. I'd say a sentence and it sounded like I was a drunk or on drugs. I don't drink or do drugs, but it sounded like I was on another planet. Then I went to get dressed one day. Picked up my bra, which of course as women we've been putting them on since we were adolescents. I couldn't figure out how to put it on. I didn't know which way it went. I put it down, decided not to put it on, just put on my shirt. Went to put on my shoes. I couldn't figure out how to put on my shoes. I couldn't figure out what shoe went on what foot. I knew I was supposed to put them on, couldn't figure out how to put them on. Finally, I got some tennis shoes, and after a while, I was able to put it on. I couldn't tie my shoe. I don't know how. I couldn't figure it out. I laid down on the floor in my closet and just started crying, just started bawling my eyes out. I didn't know what was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong. So my husband started taking me to all kinds of doctors, trying to figure out what was wrong. Oh my God. And everybody was prescribing this medicine, that medicine. They thought it was migraines, and they thought it was just bad headaches, and they thought it was just a whiplash, from the accident. And I went to a headache specialist, and oh my God, they put me in a chair with this big Russian guy, got me in a headlock, and shoved these big needles like that up my head and in the back. My husband was sitting there watching the tears running down his face as he was watching what they were doing to me. Tears were running down my face. I was in so much pain. Didn't numb me or nothing. Like these big, huge needles all up the back of my head. I thought I was going to die. That was the most excruciating pain, worse than giving birth to a baby. I'm not kidding. Finally, after months and months and months of being in excruciating pain, not being able to function right, falling down, having to hang onto the wall when I walked, my husband had to get a walker for me because I would fall down from walking from the bed to the bathroom. had to get me a walker that I had to hang on to walk. And I was pretty much just in bed rest. Couldn't hardly function. The medicine that they gave me for the headaches and stuff, and oh my God, I was just like a zombie. I went from being the CEO of a company, being the trainer, the motivator, the driving force behind the company, to not being able to talk right, not being able to walk right. Couldn't drive anymore. Barely get dressed. I wouldn't let anybody come and see me outside my initial family, my kids, because when I talked, my words all came out jumbled and backwards and mixed up. Nobody knew what was wrong. Finally, my husband took me to a brain specialist at the Brain and Spine Institute. He did CAT scans and MRIs, and he looked at him and he said, "Oh my God, your brain has been pushed down into your spinal cord. There's fluid that goes up your brain and it goes up the spinal cord and it coats our brain, it protects our brain. My brain had been shoved down on top of it, and it stopped any fluid being able to go up to my brain, and my brain being on my spinal cord was causing me excruciating pain and causing my brain to not work right." So he set me up emergency surgery. Told me all about it, what we're going to have to do. Of course, we had to get approval from the insurance company, because we're talking, this is like $100,000 surgery. I had to go in and cut my whole back of long hair at the time. They had to shave the back of my head. And then I had to go in and cut the back of my head open. Open that up. They had to go in there and move my brain off my spinal cord. Do a decompression surgery. I discovered I had Chiari malformation that caused that, which, oh my God. Anyway, so I have a scar, huge scar back there. But that was one of the first of 5 surgeries. Even after that, that didn't fix the problem. I have permanent nerve damage in my brain that they can't fix. Permanent nerve damage. So they can't fix it. So then, after I still was in so much pain, they decided, okay, we're going to put a Metatronics unit in you with wires. We'll have to put it in your lower back, and wires that run all the way up and go into your brain. And what it's going to do is you're going to feel that tingling sensation. It's like a TINS unit, but it's inside of your brain and attached to your brain. It's to trick your brain, so you're feeling that all the time, so you don't feel the pain. Because my head felt like it had been bashed in. It felt like somebody took a baseball bat and just whacked me in the back of the head as hard as they could. So, we decided to do that. This, not my first brain surgeon. They sent me to a pain management doctor, and those doctors do that surgery. So, the pain is over here, really, really bad. They were supposed to put the Metatronics unit in back here on this side and run it up. Okay, I agreed to do that. Guess what? Put it in on the wrong side. He put it in over here, the wrong side, and ran the wires up to the wrong side. Not where the pain was, not where I needed it, and ran it up on the wrong side. This big, huge, horrifying. I have got scars in my lower back, my middle back, my upper back, the back of my neck, the back of my head. But on the wrong side. So here I am. Still in excruciating pain. In the bed. Not able to hardly function. Tons of medication. My nightstand looked like a pharmacy. It was horrible. To the point that one of my sister Shalene, came over one day and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe they have you on all this stuff. This is a suicidal cocktail that they're giving you." This could make you OD. You can't be taking all of this depression medicine and pain medication and this medication and this medication. She's like, oh my God, she was scared to death. I became scared to death. So why are you taking all this? Because my doctor prescribed it for me. This is what they told me I had to take. So I am. It was scary. It was scary. But guess what? Then I had to go in and have that whole surgery reversed and have another one done. So I went back to my brain specialist to go in, and he had to take all that out of me, and then go and put another one in the right place and run the wires all the way up, and he stitched them in my brain where they can't move and where they're supposed to be. Yeah, so now I have scars all on this side and the middle of my back and running up and all the way here where they're supposed to be. Yeah. Still take a lot of medication. Like I said, I have permanent nerve damage that they can't fix. So, even though I have that in me, they still have me on a few other medications that I'll be on for the rest of my life. Then guess what happened? Okay, so they moved the brain up, right? Got it off my spinal cord. But then the fluid kept going to my brain. I wouldn't stop. Then I had all this fluid on my brain. Massive, massive pain and pressure again. So there I'm back at my brain doctor. Guess what they had to do? They had to go in then and put a catheter up through my brain that now drains all the excess fluid into my stomach. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. It's too crazy to make up. And that'll be in there the rest of my life. These wires that are up there in my brain, I'll have to have those in me the rest of my life. You're probably wondering why I didn't. Did I go and sue that first doctor who put in the wrong place? And the answer is no. No, I didn't. Even I thought about it. Wanted to. Then I started thinking, okay, if I go sue this one doctor, no other doctor, charging with malpractice, no other doctor's going to want to operate on me. No doctor wants to operate on a patient who's suing another doctor for malpractice. I decided it wasn't worth it, and I may need to have a lot of surgeries in the future still, and it'd be better not to make them all mad. I'm thinking I'm a sue happy, crazy person who wants to sue doctors for malpractice, so I decided not to. Just one of those things that happen in life. But guess what? Here's what I want to tell you. Don't give up. Don't ever give up, no matter how bad things. And believe me, I was at a very dark place several times in my life. Growing up, 16, being kicked out of the house, homeless. Not a good time. Getting a divorce at 20 with 2 young babies. Scary, scary, bad time. Didn't give up. When my son died, believe me, that's one of the hardest things and saddest things, most horrible things that ever happened to me in my life. I didn't give up. You can't. You gotta move on, persevere. When I got a divorce from second husband, the attorney, I was tough. I was scared. 3 children, 2 of them teenagers at the time. That's challenging enough by itself. Getting a divorce from an attorney, whew, I could tell you all about that. And that's a video for another day, another time. Wow. That could be a made-for-TV movie. What I went through when I divorced him. Yeah. But anyway, you don't give up. When I had this car accident, changed my life. Going through all that, and we're talking like a 5-year span of all these surgeries and all the trauma and all the, not functioning well for most of it, okay? My husband decided to get rid of the business. He's older than I am. He was ready to retire anyway. And without me being there and doing what I did in the business and being the rah-rah cheerleader, motivator, the one that, inspired the salespeople and so forth, sales went down. They just drastically went down. It wasn't what it used to be when I was there. And anyway, he got rid of the business, and that was a couple of years ago. And he was ready to retire. But I'm not. I'm ready to take on the world. During that time, I had a lot of time to soul search and to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And I've looked into a lot of opportunities, looked at a lot of businesses. There are a lot of great companies out there. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of great companies with a lot of great products. And but I was looking for something that would fulfill me, and something where I could be me. And I was looking to find out what my purpose was. I wanted to do something I was passionate about, something I believed in, be part of a company that I believed in. And I knew that I wanted to do something more in life. And so I decided I want to help other women. I want to help other women be successful. I want to help other women realize that no matter what life throws at you, you can overcome it. You can. If you work hard enough, believe in yourself, you can achieve anything that you want. I started with next to nothing and grew $5,000 into a company that was bringing in $10 million a year. And I never would have ever dreamed that. Just 4 months before starting that business, I didn't want to do anything except lay in bed and cry. After I lost my son, there were days I couldn't get out of bed. It was tough. But realize your past does not define your future. It does not define who you are. You can overcome anything if you have a strong enough why, a strong enough will, and a strong enough desire. Oh yeah, I left out too. Even though I had to drop out of high school, I went back and got my GED. I aced it. I studied that book day and night. Studied stuff I never even took in high school. Biology and chemistry, I didn't even take that in high school. But it's in that GED book, and so I had to study it and learn it. Geometry and stuff like that. Not a big math person, but I learned it. I aced that. I even got a special certificate that said, I scored 99.9 on it. But you can do anything that you want. Don't ever give up on your dreams. And know that you can overcome anything. For those that are struggling with addictions of different kinds, know that if you're involved in things like that because you've had a bad life, or it helps to ease the pain or heartbreak, those things aren't the answer. You can get better and heal yourself by knowing that you can change your circumstances. You can get through it. You can do anything that you want to. Believe in yourself. Know that you are an amazing person. Know that you have a lot to give. Know that you can achieve what you want to achieve. If you work hard enough, you have a commitment, you have desire, you can do anything that you want to do. I want to help you. If you have any questions, please email me, susanzapper@hotmail.com. I'm here for you. If you ever need somebody to talk to, please don't be afraid to reach out to me. If you've gone through any of the things maybe that I just talked about, and you can relate to any of those things, whether it's growing up on welfare, having abusive family or something like that, like I had a father that kicked me out at 16, or being a single mom, trying to raise them on your own and struggling with that, going through divorce and thinking that your life is over or it'll never be the same, or where do you go from there, or needing to, start a new business and being afraid. Any of those things. Okay? I've been through it all. But you know what? You can change anything. I'm about to blow this business up. I'm reaching for the stars. Going to build a huge team of women that I want to help inspire and motivate. Show them how you can take nothing and turn it into something huge. Because you can. And I'm about to LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe is my opportunity. It's what I've been searching for. Or I can use my passion and fulfill my purpose. And that's to help inspire other women to achieve their dreams. And showing them how you can start with nothing and achieve anything that you want. If there's a will, there's a way. And just follow one of the beliefs that I believe very strongly in. I will do today what others won't, so I can live tomorrow like others can't. And just be willing to get out there and do it. And if you want somebody to help hold your hand and guide you, I'll be right there for you. Okay? I'll be there. I'll be happy to hold your hand, guide you, shove you, push you, be your motivator, be your cheerleader, but show you how you can achieve whatever it is you want to desire. Whatever you want to achieve, you can do it. I believe in you. All right. So, SusanZapper@hotmail.com if you'd like to what did I just say? See, I have brain damage. Sometimes I say the wrong things. I'm LuLaRoe Susan Zapper @gmail.com. Okay, LuLaRoe Susan Zapper @gmail.com if you'd like to send me an email. Okay. If you would like to send me a text, 702-339-2117. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm on Pacific Standard Time. That's my time zone. But feel free to shoot me an email, shoot me a text if you would like. I'll be happy to get back with you. If you would like to find out more about what I'm doing, okay, on Facebook, I'm LuLaRoe Susan Zapper. My Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/Susan Zapper. And I'll put that in the comments down below, all my contact information, you guys. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. On Instagram, Susan Zapper1. On Twitter, Susan Zapper1. Yeah, that's what I had to put a number after it. Facebook, Susan Zapper, Susan Miller Zapper. Different ways you can look me up on Facebook. Okay? And I will put this video wherever I can, probably going to go up on YouTube. And it's gone very, very long, and I am sorry. But if you're still with me, thank you. Thank you for letting me share my story with you. Thank you for letting me show you. And no matter what, you can get through things. You can accomplish whatever you want. And if you want somebody that you need to talk to, or that you want to work with, or be part of a team with, because I can help you take it to the top. I'm going to go there, and I want to know if you're interested in going to the top, being successful. I'm your girl, okay? I'm going to build a huge, massive team of successful women who are going to rock this business and be rock stars with LuLaRoe, because I've done it before. I'll do it again. And I'm getting ready to take this thing to the top. Okay? I'm still in the queue waiting for my call. I haven't got my inventory yet. But ladies, as soon as I do, we're going to rock it. I'm going to have some great parties. And I'm going to build a massive team. And if you want to join me, and come along and be part of the #1 rising top teams in LuLaRoe, okay, let me know. Love to help you. All right. You have a great, wonderful day. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.